in middle school, I remember when I got in trouble. I got in trouble because what was it? It started because I got in trouble in middle school because I got caught on camera saying something about another student that I shouldn't have been saying. And at the time, I didn't even know what that meant when I said it. But like, it is what it is. Long story short for the viewers. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the O2 podcast. I don't know what they're talking about, but it will be a very quick and short episode for the bruvs, man. I got places to be. What is this, episode 40? For ladies and gentlemen, if y'all see me, I'll put it on today, but I got a jazz concert to go to, you know, so
there is girl them over there. That's why he is going. If it's his friends that he's been friends with for 12 years, going on 13, he is not coming at all. He is not going to show up. He's going to show up here religiously, but if it's girl them show and say, Quacho, do you want to go with me? I'm coming! Skin cleared.
Imagine I came into the group chat and I'm like, guys, you want to go to a jazz concert? The fury I would face.
You would give hell.
I would be attacked from left, right, center.
I already did my attacking. On my end.
Oh shit! Premier League. I didn't check this week.
we will get.
There is no this league. It's international break.
International break.
Yeah. But ladies and
You heard that Nigeria lost? Pause. Go ahead. My fault. To convo.
we'll get to that soon. But to open up today, we and Quasi did a bunch of reacts yesterday, and we were watching ZS and B Lou, right? And then they asked the question. It was about the hairdresser.
Yep.
We wanted to ask you, Ibra, get your take on this because ZS had asked B Lou.
He does the.
ZS and B Lou, and they asked, do you think you'd ever let a man do like your retwist and your?
No, continue. I didn't hear the question. Like,
Would you let a man like be your hairdresser, like the retwist and the redos and all that stuff you got to do for your hair?
they got to be really good.
Really?
They got to be really good. Like, listen, if they're good at their job, you let a barber cut your hair. He's touching your head.
Okay, that's different.
But that's different.
You let a male dentist.
I'm not
You let
letting
a
a
male
man braid my
dentist
hair,
go
bro.
inside your mouth.
Dennis is in your mouth. Open up.
Hold on. But like, you know how sometimes you got to sit between their legs when they do your hair. You gonna let?
I've never sat in between the legs of my hairdresser. The one who
A
does
male
my
doctor
hair.
can be doing your prostate exam.
Nigga, we're talking about hair. Why you going to
No,
But it applies.
He's
He's
not.
a
It does apply.
professional. He's a
not
professional.
wrong. Like, listen.
I'm not letting a man braid my hair. That's
Listen.
all I gotta say.
Here's the thing.
I just gotta say it.
Here's the thing. I feel like for me, like the hairdresser I go to, I don't sit between her legs. It's like a real hair salon and everything. Like it's a chair, spinning chair, and stuff like that.
But it's like she gotta like wash your hair. She gotta like get in there like you gonna let a man do that to you?
Bro, listen. Caveat. They gotta be really good. I'm not just going to any man and be like,
Massaging your scalp. You want another man massaging your scalp?
And you know it be tingling.
You gotta be
It'd
less
be
insecure, bro. We gotta be less insecure as men.
I swear to God,
Shakir. I
Yes.
don't give a fuck.
listen, here's my thing. I'm like, bro, if you are really, really good, like if you be like, oh, let me see your work, and then they show me, go get I'm getting my hair done, nigga. It's about results. But if you're mediocre, girl, you're not touching my head. End of discussion. If girl them bad and mediocre, she touching my head. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You see what I'm
So
saying?
for you, it's like it.
It's about
80%
quality.
Yeah,
It's
80%
about
of
quality. Like,
It's
bro,
100.
like for me, I'm just more used to like, if I don't know, bro. Like, if you're good at your job, I'm gonna let you do my hair, bro. Like, I'm not, obviously you're not gonna be like, I'm not sitting in between your legs or anything and stuff like that. But like at the same time, you good at your job, bro. Do my hair. I could care.
I don't know. If I had more hair, if I had hair to braid, like, cause I'm thinking back into like when I was in college and like they used to have the hairdressers. You got to go to their dorms and they had like that kind of setup. What's up?
I think I'm talking about it from a perspective of motherfuckers who know what they're doing. The people that you went to who did your hair like in college and stuff like that, bro, it takes me like 45 minutes. 45 minutes to an hour with all the styles that I get. I've never sat in that place for more than in that seat for more than an hour to get my hair done. She knows what she's doing. Other than those other folks, you sitting in their dorms for like 3 to 5 hours just to get 10 braids done, in a sense. I think I'm just looking at it from a professional level. I don't know.
I'm just looking at it from like I just feel like some things I would just prefer it to be a woman rather than be a man. Me personally.
Now, if you're talking about massages, Only gal them touching me.
But it's the same thing though.
No, it's not. A full body massage?
If it's a
Are we
professional,
not?
it's a if it's a professional, it's a
Yeah.
professional.
What if they're good though?
So by your logic, if you're looking for results, you went in that massage to get what? Results. If they can untie and
He's
break
gonna
your
be like,
knots,
nah, it doesn't apply. It doesn't apply.
If it's a professional, it's a professional.
Going back to
Like,
Shakir.
So Shakir, you would let a
so
man
you
give you
want-
who you let him do
you
your
would let a man
prostate?
give you a full body massage.
You want
If
man
he's-
them to put lotion on you, rub your legs, rub up,
If
up
he's
in
a
your
Give you a
professional-
happy ending?
rub
If he's a
up in your
professional
thighs,
and he's good at
then
his
he
job,
like- And
yes.
imagine your girl walks
Whoa.
past you. That's
You
minus
let it-
1,000 aura points, nigga. She gonna
You
just
let
be
a
like,
man
I
give you
love-
a happy
my
ending?
friend, I
them
can
lotion
afford
you.
massages. Why would she look at me that way?
I think
So
niggas
what?
ain't hearing me.
I can afford massages. That's the, like.
broke.
why
That
would she
nigga
come
really
and look
trying
at
to
me
play
as
the
Will
argument,
Ferrell,
nigga. You just broke. Is he really trying to go bed for bed on a man massaging you? That's completely different.
Okay.
I'm not letting no man massage
You gonna tell the nigga that's the
It's a-
spot?
You
It's
say
a
yes.
professional.
If he
It's a
gets in you
profe-
right
this
in
is
your
his
lower
job.
back, and then you
You
just
like,
oh,
right there.
No. This is,
Oh yeah, there's a lot of pressure.
all these
Oh my
famous
God.
athletes, right?
Yes.
When they get injured and they gotta do physical therapy and shit like that. And the top of physical therapy is like men. They're not gonna let the man touch them.
Are you saying women can't be the top of physical therapy?
Is that what
No, but I'm saying no. That's not what I'm saying.
You just
But I'm
said,
saying
yeah, them
if
are
it
not
happens
able to be top at
if
the
it
physio.
happens to-
Are you a
if it
sexist?
happens- If it happens to be
It's
a
not like
man
you're sexist,
is the
me.
best at the job, why would I care about the gender?
So you're saying men are the best at any job?
No, that's not what I said. Don't gaslight me. Don't gaslight me. Don't gaslight me into. No,
So you're
that's not
saying-
what- that's not what I said.
You're saying only men them
but,
are good at jobs.
In all seriousness, let me ask
know
this
what I
question. You go for a prostate check. Who you picking?
Y'all them. Then again, either way, it's a
You don't get to
lose-lose
pick.
situation.
No, I know you don't get to pick, but in this scenario, you get to pick. Who you picking?
Bro, it's a situation. But then again, at the end of the day, my health is on the line. I am not taking.
I do not give a fuck.
I do not give a fuck. Get the best of the best. Imagine the only guy them in the room is an intern. Nanny, what? Nah, fuck that. Get the best of the
But
best
that-
to get the job done.
I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, let us know if you think there are some professions you'd rather have the opposite gender do than the other. Let
I'm
us
just saying. I take my car to the car shop.
Another frame of reference, because today's going to be a very quick and short episode. I was scrolling through the news or whatever, and I came across this video that was like, what is something that, like, what do you think is the worst form of punishment your parents gave you when you guys were younger?
I think honestly, I wasn't even my parents. It was my cousins. That monkey dance shit, bro. That shit.
What?
Oh, the
Yes, brother, bro. That
niggas
shit-
make you do physical
physical-
exercise, bro.
And it's not
As a
like
form of
reps
punishment.
and sets. It's a don't stop until I say stop.
Until
And you're
failure.
just going. You're just going. You're sitting there bawling in tears, and you're just like, I didn't tell you to stop.
How old were your cousins?
My cousins were significantly older. This was back when I was in Senegal. Like, I
It's
was
only in Africa that shit niggas
Yeah.
gonna actually push that shit, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like, my cousins are like 10, 15, significantly older than me. So this was like when they had power over me. Now I'm bigger than all them niggas. It's like, if I were to ever see them again, I'd be like, nah, we gotta run up some shit, bro. Some things you guys, y'all niggas just took advantage, bro. But yeah, no,
I was looking at it, and somebody was like, the parenting style that your parents took with you guys, right? Each of us has our own individual parenting styles. What are some things that you think you keep the same, and what are some things you think you change when it gets to your turn?
honestly,
Make niggas read books.
I would say. I feel like there's a lot of things, to be honest with you. There's a lot of things, certain things I'm just like, I'm not going to do. I would say one thing, patience, not soft parenting. I don't believe in soft parenting. I don't believe in beating the fuck out of kids either. But I believe there needs to be some sort of rigor, a middle ground, and at the same time being patient with your kid. Because it's like, we want our kids to be strong, independent individuals. But in the homes, we don't, like in the homes growing up, you're not given a voice to speak. You end up raising kids who become adults who don't know how to speak up for themselves, who don't know how to chase after their dreams or like think for themselves in general. And I think that's why I'm like, beating the crap out of your kid takes that power away from them. Because it's like everything that you are now is started from when you were a kid. So if you had parents who never really like fed you feed confidence in you or like certain things and stuff like that, gave you the permission to be like even emotionally vulnerable and stuff like that, you get up, these things don't leave you unless you recognize it and then you constantly work on it every day. And that's like a small percent of the population. 99.99% of the people, once they reach the age of 25, who they are then, they're done. They're never changing. That's why people be like, I'm like, wow, I'm quick to leave a person alone. I'm like, bro, they're not gonna change. I was like, change is harder than a bitch. To change for somebody else is hard. To change for yourself is even harder. You know what I mean? So I think it's just like the patience to being patient. You know what I mean? Because it's like a lot of us is raised on stuff. Figure it out, we're gonna beat your ass. You know, and I think that does take away a lot from a kid, and then that leads into adulthood too, and then you leave the same cycle onto your children, and it's like, you know, you raise them, because there's a lot of people, to be honest with you, see them, they have so much ability, and like I'm friends with this one person, like this person they've been selling cars since they were like 12 years old, you know, and they want to jump into managerial position, but that nigga keep asking me for advice on why you think. I'm like, bro, you've been doing this longer than me. Why do you need my say so? And I'm like, and he was just talking to me about it. He was like, bro, I'm like, why do you doubt yourself all the time? And he just started talking to me about like how growing up he always never felt like he was good enough, you know, simply because his parents constantly reminded him. Mind you, this nigga is like used to be a mechanical engineer, used to be a bioengineer, something like that.
Biomedical engineer.
Biomedical engineer, yes. Used to be a freaking part of design teams for like engineering teams for like car companies and stuff like that. Running his own dealership back in his home country. And I'm like, bro, I've been doing this for a year. Why do I have more confidence than you in this job? Like, it shouldn't be the case. You know what I mean? But then he second doubts himself, everything, and it's like, and he was like, bro, honestly, it's just the way my parents were with me. Now that shit just, I feel like I can't kick out of it. You know what I mean? And that inability to have confidence in himself is stopping him from like, he's getting in his own way of making something happen, taking the next step for himself. You know what I mean? And I think that does take into effect in the long run.
Yeah. For me, I would say, like, the thing I would carry over is, like, kind of like the amount of freedom my parents gave me growing up. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people, they get held back because, like, they're not allowed to do shit, period, while growing up. Like, I feel like I received, like, a lot of freedom and autonomy, which I would also give my kids. I feel like the thing I would change is, like, how much they, like, especially when I was younger, listened and cared about, like, what their family was saying and shit like that. It's like having confidence in your own decisions and like your own decisions on how you want to run your family instead of thinking like what other people are gonna think, because my parents gave us like so much freedom, and that's not like a common thing in like brown culture and shit. Like you'll obviously hear like other people like talking shit and stuff about like the amount of freedom we get, and like I don't think they always had like the confidence to be like, this is my kids, this is how I'm running my household. I don't give a fuck what you gotta say. Like being able to put their foot down.
But then again, yeah, I agree with that. Like, I feel like a lot of immigrant families, in a sense, like that's why I was like the best advice I can give to any immigrant child: don't listen to your parents. I was like, here's why. I was like, they operate on a fear mindset. Fear. Mm-hmm. Everything is based on fear. Like, for example, for years growing up, they always told me, don't get a credit card, don't get a credit card, don't get a credit card. This is gonna happen. You're gonna spend too much money, you're gonna think and stuff like that. If I would have listened to that, I wouldn't have an apartment, I wouldn't have a house and stuff like that. Off the rip with no problems. I was like, bro, when I got an apartment, when I was getting a card to get it approved, easy. Why? That's because I had credit for 4 years way before I did anything.
Bro, you know on that fear thing, like, even after we signed like the deed to our house, right? My dad still for a month didn't think we had the house, because he's like, "Oh, there's no way. Like, someone's scamming me." Mm-hmm. Like,
I think
it's a lack of
continue.
I feel like all those fears stem from a lack of knowing, because when they first immigrated, right, in a new system, a new environment, they don't know, so the mistakes they made basically became their new rules within the new system they're in. And because of what they know, they tell you don't do this, because when I did it, everything went wrong. So the fear of making errors basically ingrain something into them that they tell you like, hey, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. But yeah, sometimes hearing them say don't do this, don't do that, it makes sense. So like what I would do for my kids to make them, I would basically do my best to make them independent thinkers, make them people that actually take into account the risk in what they're gonna do, and weigh whether, hey, this may be a messed up thing to do. This is not the right thing to do. This is a great thing to do, right? And also just explore, like Shakira said, just give them freedom to explore. Because as I was saying, just give them freedom to think and be free. Just roam around because you don't really know what your kid is capable of or what their path is. So you trying to like fit them into a box.
But
Also like diminish them, Of course, like obviously point them towards a path, and then, that's not the path they want to do. They don't want to do it, but
like going off the thing of what you said about making mistakes in general, I think like certain levels of mistakes. I feel like honestly, if your mistakes doesn't lead to death, like you getting somebody pregnant or being addicted to crack or something like that, like because to be able to win, you got to be willing to lose. There is no winning without losing, and the fear of losing will stop you from winning. So you gotta. I think it's important to teach your kids like, oh, let's say you, for example, you went and tried out for basketball and then it didn't work out. That's okay. You know what I mean? Because like the lessons that you're gonna learn from there, you could take it on to something else in a sense. But the unwillingness to lose and fail, I think that's something also too. We got to teach our kids like losing is not a part of your identity. And I think for a long time, for like a lot of immigrant children, is like if you lose, if you mess up, if you fail, it's like the end of the world. Whereas like no, brother, you got a couple more losses coming, whether you like it or not. Like there's you don't go with there is no way you become successful in life without losing.
I think like a great example is like, for example, like you have a certain amount of money, right? Like let's say like $10,000, right? And your child is like, oh, dad, like I have this, like I want to try and invest this and try and make that money back, and he has like a plan and everything, right? And you give him the $10,000, but whatever he tries to do with it, it doesn't succeed, right? I feel like your reaction to that as a parent says a lot, because that's like a moment you can either build up your child's confidence and his ability to take more risks and try to be confident in himself and also know that his family has his back, versus I feel like a lot of immigrant family in this situation, there's people that would cut relationships over this shit. Like they would act like, oh, it's the end of the world. Like,
to be fair, I would be like, damn, like damn, bro, you lost that shit. Where my money at?
I think
but yeah, you're right. It's like I'll just be like, what did you learn from this? I got to know at least what you learned from this, because if you come to me on some, it's not even my money.
No, of course
Not,
you know your child. If if you know he did some dumb shit with it, then obviously you have the right to be mad with him. But
your
like
kid
let's
went
say
and bought
he
some Dogecoin. I'm like, bro,
yeah,
why
exactly.
would you
Like
do
if
that?
he like invested in a house, the house got destroyed, but or like something happened.
Did you
right?
put insurance on it?
And then he didn't get the money.
I think for me, when we discussed this whole parenting lore, y'all know me and my mom been through the ringer with like from head to toe. But one thing I think she did well was that like she knew how to like invest in her kids. Like she wasn't the most present person in there, but like she dedicated a great deal of her life to make sure that her children did better than she did. And I think that's one thing I would give her props for. And there's one thing that I would like try to carry on to my kids, is that like there's a level of commitment that goes into raising your kids. I don't think people now they don't think about that level of effort. Like it's probably the greatest level of commitment you ever have to make to a child, right? You have 18 years to basically mold the child and send them to
it's
the
a
world.
lifetime decision,
And
brother.
Yeah, 18.
but realistically, you have that 18-year-old window before that child clicks in their head. You really can't control me. Like before it clicks, you have between that time to send out a functioning member of society to the world. That's not going to be over here just doing bare shit. So I think in that case, she did such a great job at it. But one thing I would take though is like the fear-based parenting that you guys were talking about. And my mom just strictly operates on nothing but fear. Like it's just fear.
I feel like we can
Nigga,
see
look
a
at
little
you.
bit of that on
No,
you.
but
Like the
See,
imprint
but
of that.
A little.
that's what I'm saying. I think the best decision that could have happened to me was me moving out here by myself, because it's given me so much time to think about certain things. And I'm like, as much as I don't like what she's like, as in I get that from her, I also can't fault her in a sense, because realistically, she played with the cards that she was dealt. And like she's like a single mother. She had 2 kids by herself, and it's like this is the card they gave her in the game, and it's like you got to go make something shake. So it's like And what usually when you hear her talk about me and my sister, it's like that's like her most prized possession. Like she don't own no assets. She don't own like she just has her kids. So if like these are the two things that you have for the rest of your life, like why would you not want to like fear for that in case you do lose it, right? And I have a very funny, like it's so funny. Back when I was in Ghana, I had gotten like really sick. Like I wasn't eating. Like I was damn near just ahead on like like a stick figure, and my mom had called my grandma and said before a couple months before she came and left, she told my grandma that she went to the prophet, and the prophet said we can't inject the boy with a needle, right? So,
Which prophet?
like in Ghana, we have these prophets that can basically tell the future. It's you got to be there to understand what it is.
It's an African thing.
Yeah. So she's like, the prophet said, whatever happens, our household witches are, they're using the needles to get to the boy's future. To this day, I don't understand the logic behind that, but cool. And then she up and left. And then I got really sick, and like damn near I was on for the ropes. Like my grandma had to like put me on her back, and like I think she walked like 5-6 miles to get into the hospital. And then she had gotten to the hospital, and they were like, the condition it is now, we have to inject the boy, right? They called my mom. My mom is on the phone freaking out. Like on some whatever mind you, the doctor's like, we don't give this boy the injection. He's not gonna be here tomorrow. My mom is on some no. The prophet said, he's like, this is how the devil was getting to you. They put him in this situation. Like, wait. And it took my grandma hanging up the phone and being like, what's she gonna do? She in America. Give him a needle, right? It took that. But literally in that moment, after she found out they had given me the needle, she booked a plane ticket that same day on a Monday. She was by my bed on a Wednesday. And I like stories like that, I think about it, I'm just like, why did it have to get to that? And then when she came back, she saw I was getting better. She's like, oh. So it's like, I don't necessarily blame my mom for certain things. Like certain things, I'm like, it's funny. But given the fact that like to her, me and my sister are the only two things like she feels like she's accomplished on this world in a sense, I don't blame her for treating her with that level of fear. And that leads me to my next question is like, do you guys think you've reached the age where you understand your parents a little bit better than you did when you were kids?
I feel like for me, like I've always kind of understood that part. Like there was never a time where I was like questioning, oh, why are they doing this to me? Like growing up, like when we had no money and everything, like I never blamed them for anything. Yeah.
Damn.
You guys
Nah,
don't think
in all seriousness,
really?
huh?
I said you guys don't think you've reached that point
Um,
of understanding them a little bit better?
I was the older sibling. I kind of knew what was going on.
Okay, Ibra, what about you?
But I didn't like what they did. I didn't like what they situations and decisions they made for me. But at the end of the day, shit happened. I understand what they did. I meet my mom when I went to New York. I did some shit my mom did when I was younger. And she was like, that is wrong. That is this, that is that. And I looked at her, I was like, you did the same thing. You do this. She was like, what? I've never done that. Brought out the receipts. I was like, this, and that. She's like, nah, that's not nice, man. And I was like, damn, I saw you do it, so I learned from you. At the end of the day, it's like, yeah, I understand what my parents did. I understand why they made certain decisions. But at the end of the day, sometimes it's just like, that decision should have not been made because that was not the right decision. But I can't change what happened. So I just keep moving on with life.
What Quasi said. Exactly word for word. Exactly.
Shit. I can't be mad at niggas. What the fuck is that gonna do for me?
Best thing
Excuse my language.
Best thing I could do is like you accept the person for who they are. They can't change. They won't change. So
my parents have changed. In terms of like dialed down.
Yeah.
Once
you're like
spoken about
grown,
this. Yeah,
you're like grown. What they have like a support that they don't when like you're younger.
Yeah.
We've spoken about this a little bit, but I did enough for them to dial down at a crazier rate than they would have naturally. In terms of like, I took freedom and I did certain things so that whenever my brothers did something, the standard was like, oh, Quasi's done this, so this is not as crazy. You know what I mean? So it's like, that also is just, they've changed and adapted to the times, and they actually support me and my siblings' dreams more. Like Lloyd actually plays was it a saxophone or something? He actually plays an instrument now.
Look at saxophone.
My mom supports that.
He ain't getting no bitches. I'm sorry.
Nah,
You would be
saxophone,
surprised.
like a good instrument,
surprised.
a good instrument,
that
bro.
brother, you see, I see my brother sometimes. I'm like, huh. Anyways, you know, I'm like, but what's the name? She actually encourages people to my siblings to explore, you know, try new things, and she funds it, which surprised me because when I was growing up, whew, couldn't even get $1 out of that lady. Crazy work.
Growing up, I thought my mother was my biggest op. Like I
Oh,
thought
mine
I was
was.
in my head I was the protagonist, and this was
Oh.
really just a person just created to just mess up. Like, bro, she wouldn't let me do anything. Always getting yelled at. I wasn't a good kid, but always getting yelled at, always doing certain things. So in my head, up until I was like maybe 17, 18, I was like, this woman is my biggest op. I don't know why we do this. And then, like, because it started, I grew up with my grandmother. So my mom was like, just kept on coming in and out. Like, I didn't fully recognize my mother was my mom till I was like 8, 9 years old. And then after that
Yup.
point, she took me away from Ghana, brought me here. I remember, you guys noticed in 6th grade, I used to cry all the time because I was like, I want to go back home. Like, I don't want to be here. So I was like, I hated her so much for it. So, and then, so much so. And then I think, I forget when it was, but there was a time like my mom, I don't know what it is, but I feel like she sees my pops in me every time she looks at me. So certain times when she gets angry, it's like the dose she wants to dish out to him, it's to me. So there was one time in middle school, I remember when I got in trouble. I got in trouble because what was it? It started because I got in trouble in middle school because I got caught on camera saying something about another student that I shouldn't have been saying. And at the time, I didn't even know what that meant when I said it. But like, it is what it is. Long story short for the viewers, I said I'm gonna kick her. I shouldn't have said that. They caught me in 4K. I tried to lie, didn't work out. So like every now and then she'll like bring it up. And there was this one time I had a really bad day, and then she was like I had a really bad day, and she came and saw me. I was upset, right? And that's when she wanted to be funny, and she was like, da, 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 like remember when in middle school you want to do this, bro? And I low key lashed out at her a little bit because I was like, I'm not having it, right? And then she got a little bit sad. My mom's like a thug. Like my mom really doesn't like let it hurt her. So when she started moving her way, you know, it really did hurt her deep. And I like had went to go apologize, and then she was crying and stuff. And then we was talking about it, and then she was just like, oh, like da 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 da, like you don't make it like hard, you don't make it easy to like be your mom. And I'm at the time I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do, da da da. And like I don't think she meant to tell me this, but like just like ranting in conversation, like she slipped it out like by mistake, and she was like, yeah, like even when I was pregnant, your dad was like, your dad wanted me to get an abortion, and I like, and then that conversation kind of led on, right? But I don't think she meant to tell me in that moment. She just said it out to say it. Cool. So like it took me some time. I like thought about it. I sat on it for like a year and a half. Didn't really talk about it. We ended up going to Ghana. And then we go to Ghana and we go like to like a family outing. And it's like everybody just keep asking about my pops. And I'm just saying, I'm just like, dog, like what? Like after at the time I hadn't really conceptualized like what I had just heard like a year before. So it just felt like a lot of anger and stuff like that. And then I like we like da 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 we moved on, like didn't really talk about it. And then it was when I like had like one night I was sitting there and it was me and my aunt, and we were in the room, was like watching the movie, and I was like I might as well just ask. And I asked her about it, and she was like telling me the story, giving me a little behind it. And I think that was the moment in which I was like, I forgive my mother is not my biggest op. Like if there's anybody on the planet that wants to see me win, it's hands down my mom. But I feel like at least for the three of you, it's different for you guys because you guys all had like a two-parent like household in there. But it also took me a little while to realize that not having a two-parent household,
I
what
didn't.
happened?
I didn't.
But nigga, you knew your pops. You took pictures with your pops. You. What
Oh, that's what you mean.
have
I
you
mean,
ever
he
seen-
wasn't in the household.
but like he checked up on you, like he called, he gave you money.
I mean, that's all he could have done.
But yeah, but he was like playing an active role. Like this
Whoever
nigga just
told us
fucked
his
off
dad
some.
died like
What
on a
happened?
random day.
I mean,
Whoever
that
told
nigga
us his
wasn't-
dad
he
died
was
on
lying.
a random day.
He
That
wasn't
nigga,
like
that nigga was a
no,
paparazzi.
time out.
He,
I wasn't lying. He died to me. He died to me that day.
he said, "I'm not lying."
I'm not lying. He
Duh.
like bro. Like
I
it was-
meant it metaphorically.
Yeah, like no, but it was stuff like that where I was just like, I spent so much time giving my mom shit for like stuff that like she like. Then I was like, you never really know the whole story with your parents to sit there and be like, damn, they really are trying the best that they could. And then I'm sitting there and I'm like I've like moved on from the situation that's in. Bro, I go back, they come about call your pops. I'm side eyeing these niggas like what conversation is there to be had? And don't get me wrong, I'm all about forgiveness. But I'm just like certain things. It's not even that I don't want to forgive you. There is nothing for us to talk about. you made your decisions. You've cut your cloth how you want to. But then again, I will give him some grace because being a man at this age, I understand why he did certain things that he had to do. I don't fault him for it. But certain things, I'm just like. But with the not having a 2-parent household, I would say like did some irreparable damage to me that I am now like as I've like gone like I recognize that I wouldn't want to wish that onto a child. So to anybody in this group, marry wisely because you only get one marriage. And none of y'all gonna be deadbeat fathers. Like that is the one thing. That is one of 5 things you could do that I'd have to just permanently cut you off. So I was like little stuff like that. But no, I feel like I'm honestly glad that we're at the age where we can understand or not maybe understand them, but get why they are the way they are. Because I feel like it was frustrating as kids when they would do certain shit and you just didn't understand, so you're just mad to be mad. But that's my little 2 cents on it. Is there anything you guys like? What is it? Because this episode is supposed to be about parenting and parenting styles. Is there a style that you think you're going to implement and you're gonna like start off this way, or you haven't thought that far yet?
I'm just gonna raise a kid, you know.
Some are closer than others.
I think not someone.
What does that mean?
Singular.
You know what the fuck that
Don't
means.
You know what that
plural.
means.
Don't
No,
plural.
don't do
Don't
that.
pluralize
You
it.
know what that means. It is plural. It is plural.
No. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Plural.
Don't do that.
It is
I'm
plural.
just saying.
No.
Plural.
Just don't say that. Just don't say that.
It is
Just don't say
plural,
that.
nigga.
Just don't say that.
Nigga, what? It's plural.
I'm just saying. What are we thinking about parenting styles? I just feel like if I can start off with a strong father and a strong mother in my household, I'm pushing in the right direction.
I think like thinking about a correct parenting style is wrong because every kid is different and you gotta cater the parenting style based on the kid. Like you'll see some kids they're just like naturally more hard-headed, naturally like wants to get in more trouble and shit like that. And you gotta sometimes like put down your foot a little bit. There's other kids that are a little softer. You treat them in a different way. Like you gotta what I would say is just understand your kid, who they are, and do what's best for like that person.
Not as in like I'll have like a strict set of rules, but like certain things where it's like, oh, like if my child has like a game or like a recital or something, I would make it a point to always want to be present or like be in the crowd so they can like see my face. Like stuff like that is what I mean. Like being present for the child, like going above and beyond on like celebrations, like making like their birthday feel like,
that's one thing I would do. Definitely, because I never got a birthday party in my life. So they would, for like the first 10 years.
Oh, he's not wrong. I never got a birthday party. Wait, no, I lied.
I got mine. Mine stopped after I moved here.
Yeah, mine stopped after I moved here. Yes, mine stopped after I moved here.
What?
Oh, life was sweet back
in Ghana when it was my birthday, bro. Because you know, Mumsy was in America. She sends the funds down, bro. Everybody knows Quadro's birthday. They lay out the table with the cake. Hat on. Yeah, that shit died when I came here. But like little stuff like that's what I mean. Like celebrating your kid. Like I'm trying to think. Like going out in activities. Like seeing like the parents together. Like seeing me like actually like love your mother. Like stuff like that. I respect the fact that like we are not those. At least all 4 of us are not those type of people that received hate and one other people that felt like the world shall know my pain. Like, yeah.
Let me stop you right there. It wasn't until 2 years ago that I let go of anger in my heart.
Yeah, me too. Exactly 2 years ago.
But I'm also the same way. But it's like
no. Okay.
I'm glad. Like it's like like we're not those type of individuals. Like we receive hate and we want to put it back into the universe. I've met people where it's like, because I got this done to me, everybody else needs to feel my pain. And I love the fact that like we're not.
For me, I'm a person that I'm like, something has to make sense to me. I'm a logical person. It has to make sense to me.
Like, am I gonna? No, at the end, what I do is an analysis of like, is this gonna make me happier after? Like, bro, like after getting revenge, then what? Like, am I gonna be happier? Bro, like, am I benefiting from this shit? Yeah. If not, I'm just hurting myself more.
Bro, like honestly, it has to make sense because I'm like, bro, like that's why there's certain things like I can forgive because it's a mistake, but other things I'm like, you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to say that. That was a deliberate choice. So it don't make no sense for me to be cool with you because that was a deliberate choice. You thought about it. You did it. I'm sorry. It didn't make no sense for me why you do that. Now, there's a difference between I'm scared for my life, so I'm going to go ahead and stop my kids from doing this, and that, beating a kid because out of discipline, being scared, stopping my kid from doing this. Those are things I'm like, I understand it. Other things, I'm like, you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to say that. That was a choice. You made that choice. You made your bed. You lay in it. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah.
It's like we don't like we're not putting out that like label of hate, and it's like I feel like we're all at the phase where it's like, okay, this got done. It was very shitty. It wasn't the best situation, but how can I make it so that I don't repeat the same mistake and put the same thing out into the universe? And I think that's really profound thing about us, you know.
Yeah, I like that. Thank you guys for listening.
Wait,
And,
All right,
and
we'll
thank
catch
you for
up.
sharing.
to
this.
end
They're
it in
not-
a
they're-
happy,
they're not gonna
in a
hear,
happy
but
note,
thank you
a
for
little
sharing that.
a little mini topic that I was thinking about all week was: have you seen like the trend on TikTok about like people wearing quarter zips
Bubba?
now?
Oh, the quarter zip movement, yeah.
The quarter zip movement, right?
Yeah.
So like it's like black men are wearing quarter zips instead of Nike Techs
Oh,
and drinking
brother,
matcha, right?
please.
But Nike makes.
And the
what is
thing
it?
is, no, the quarter zip shit. All I can think of is that one picture of Quattro in the quarter zip.
You bringing up dark memories for him, man. Stop that.
Like you know what's so funny? We have such a heartfelt episode. We share, we bond as brothers. And there's always that one fuck nigga that's gonna wake up and ruin the whole shit. Now my whole night is ruined. Fuck you, your hat, and your gas pants. Fuck this nigga. But no, I thought it was interesting you brought that up, Shakir, because you Ibra had the same reaction. You know that girl we reacted to, that you said was good. Who she also had a take on it when she was like, "This quarter zip movement is so performative." Where it's like, and I'm like, I really see both sides though. I
mean,
both
I
sides.
feel like it's just a joke. Like
That's what I'm, like.
it's
that's
just
like,
a joke.
that's what I
People
was
take
going
it too
towards
deep.
you, but,
Like it's just a
the
joke.
other
Bro.
part that she was bringing up is that like, and it's like I looked at both sides, and I'm gonna go more with the I like the movement. I think it's funny. I love like what they're doing with it. Like I'm all for the jokes. What the girl was saying was that what black men are now doing was that they're perpetuating this narrative where it's like, if you are somebody in a Nike Tech, we gotta consider you dangerous, which is like that's not. You're feeding more into the narrative of like, oh, we gotta wear quarter zips or do stuff that like typically white people are doing to be considered like a functional member of society. Where it's like we're shitting on like the black culture fashion and stuff like that, where it's like, oh, I don't do that no more. I'm only doing this for the quarter zip. But at the same time, I'm only a man at the end of the day, and I think it's very funny.
I didn't even know it was going on until you said
Bro, okay.
You're not on TikTok, bro.
I don't know if this is a stretch, but it's akin to the, okay. They used to go clubbing, and all of a sudden they found Jesus.
Oh, that's what something they said. It's like
That's kind of what it's
girl was
given,
like,
bro.
They're wearing quarter zip. He said they're wearing quarter zips and still unemployed. We're moving in the wrong direction. But like my only problem with it is that I don't like I'm somebody that doesn't like performative things. Like
I hate
I hate it. Like
that's why I hate politics, bro. That's why I
one
can't
of my
stand it.
biggest pet peeves with certain things is that don't say you're about something unless you're about it. If you're gonna wear that quarter zip, update your LinkedIn, update your resume, go to actually be doing the coffee chats. Don't just put on a quarter zip and come on TikTok being like, I'm a quarter zip nigga now. And don't get me started on the matcha. Don't get me started on matcha. I think my thing is I like
They lost me with the matcha.
Yeah, they lost me there
That's
too.
his ass.
But the thing is,
tried that
I like the
Matcha is
idea so much of like, oh, like, cause I'm not gonna lie, certain times when I see my brothers, some fashion sessions they be putting on, I'm just like, y'all need to let that go. The skinny jeans, the graphic tees, they need to drop that. But I'm just like, if you're gonna put on the quarter zip and be like a
When niggas was wearing the bulletproof vest, I will never forget that shit. I will never. I
forgot that.
never.
I
will
forgot
never
that.
let
That
niggas
shit was
forget.
for a solid 2 years, bro.
Niggas, and I'm like, oh y'all
Nothing
dead ass?
underneath nothing, just a bulletproof vest.
Hey, that shit was
and some
neon
tight-ass-
green.
Neon green. You defeat the whole purpose of a bulletproof
Yeah.
vest.
but the thing is, the creator, and I'm gonna clip this part. The creator that did it, he's Ghanaian. The nigga that started the movement, he's Ghanaian. And I'm like, when he started it, it's like I love the idea behind it. Let's get our brethren into these spaces. Let's start actually doing the thing. But I don't like the performative aspect where it's like now we're in the quarter zip just to be in the quarter zip. Because quarter zip with no resume is kind of crazy. But you have to understand what the quarter zip entails. So I love the movement, but you don't have to bring up I wasn't even a quarter zip. It was a coat. It was a coat from Macy's.
I feel like I'm imagining it as a quarter zip.
It wasn't a quarter
Close
zip.
enough.
It was a coat. I'll actually
It
put
was a
the
pea
picture up.
coat. It was a pea coat.
It was a
That's the
coat.
next level after the quarter zip is the pea coat.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. That picture was very performative. That picture at that moment in time was very performative.
I am a good civilian, sir.
Yeah. But without any further ado, guys, it's been a great episode. It's been your boys over at the O2 podcast. Make sure you make sure you subscribe, all that extra good stuff. Any topics you want us to hinder on. I know we got a couple of viewers who've been watching us here and there because I be getting the DMs. What, not too much. I get like 3 or 4 a week, but
That's
the
a lot.
loyal view-
Wait,
That's
really?
I'm saying. You can get us somewhere.
Out of
Yeah,
60
I mean,
people?
From who?
they're my friends, but that's not the point. They
That's not the
actually
point.
listen- they listen to the episode. Like
Aight,
I think
bro.
if 4 people can sit down a week and watch us through and through
That's amazing,
and have
bro.
some enjoyment, we did what we're supposed to do.
We're winning. That's a
Yeah.
win in my book.
So if you're watching it, let us know what topics you enjoy. Let us know what segments you want to see us bring back, all that extra good stuff. And without any further ado, it's been your boys over here at the O2 Podcast, and we'll catch you guys next week.